I don't know if you can see me too good. I don't have enough books up. I'm gonna make this short. Today was the last day of school in my city, so I'm on summer furlough until September. Now, today and yesterday were half days. Now, when I have a full day of work, full day of school rather, I go into work, I park at police main headquarters, walk down, and do the first shift. I then go to get my car, drive it home, stay home for a few hours, and drive back. Now, my second shift begins at 2:30, but I always leave more than enough time available in case of traffic, in case of a detour. So I get to headquarters about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody is at work. I park the car. Everyone's at lunch. Whole bunch of empty spaces. I park the car. And I sit for a little bit, maybe rest a little bit, and then I go down about 2 o'clock, go to the bathroom, and I'm at my spot at 2:30. On a half day, which today was and yesterday was for me, if I leave and go home, it'll be 9:30 by the time I get home. I gotta be back to work at 11:30. Plus, at 10:30, there's no parking spaces in that lot. So on a half day, I stay down there. Get a cup of coffee at the place, sit in the car, read. In this case, I read my magazine from the New York State Rifle Pistol Association, The Bullet. And I'm reading, and I say, you know, let me get out and stuff I like. Let me walk around a little bit. Now I'm parked in an area of the lot where the footbridge is, the City Hall. There's my building here, City Hall here, on two separate hills. Hill 1, Hill 2. And under here is all the traffic, from like 6 lanes of traffic, and a walking bridge. I'm right 1 car away from the walking bridge. It's light, nice and open. So I walk around the parking lot, and I'm walking down 20 spaces from my car. You know how trees grow and the branches come down over the parking spaces? And there's trees on this front lawn over here, 50 yards that way. Well, this spot is nice and isolated. Even though there's a whole bunch of cars here in this row, this spot is nice and isolated with trees and bushes and branches and leaves. And across that way, you're concealed in. And I see an SUV, a Ford, with a back window broken. And I say, oh God, maybe someone had their car broken into last month. So I walk over, arms together, and I look. And I see every piece of glass in the world on the seat. This car was broken into recently in the police lot. You have the police headquarters, the jail, the courts, and they have their employees. You also have defendants, people fighting traffic tickets, witnesses, lawyers. Okay, a very, very busy hub of activity. I have no idea whose car it is. I'm trying to look at the space number. Space number's all fucked up. So I have to report it. So I go into the main built entrance, which is where the court officers search visitors. And I pull one guy I knew from my internship, Green. I always want to talk quiet. We have a car broken into in the lot. He comes out with his other court officer, and I'm like, I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's them. I don't know if it's civilian. I don't know. Says that I didn't touch anything. So we go over, and you got fingerprints on the window area, near the window, over here, visible fingerprints. You look inside, glass everywhere. If you look over in the front, there's a cord, you know, the recharging cord, phone, might have been in, the recharging cord. So I might have had their phone plugged in, and we rationed this. Recharging cord is plugged into the thing. Okay? The guy must have left his phone, or whatever the fuck it was, attached to the cord, parked the car, got out, left it there. Back window's broken in, and the guy comes in, crawls around, gets it, and comes out. That was our rationing. So we got fingerprints. And I'm like, okay. Now I have to watch the crime scene because they have to go inside and find out who it is. There's a sticker that belong to an employee. Write down the employee pass number, go inside and run in the system. Also, the main building had a surveillance camera way over there, 100 yards that way. And if you look properly, the surveillance camera gives you a good beam of this spot. But all the suspect had to do was keep his face concealed. And I said to him, I said, listen, if I was going to break into a car, I would break in here. Because look at the trees behind you. And there's also a hill that comes up, you know, so the suspect could have came from the street, climbed up the hill, into the lot. I said, if I was going to break into a car, I'll break in here. Because look at all these trees, look at all those trees, perfect concealment. And they're like, well, what about the fucking camera? I said, all you got to do is fucking turn your back and hide your face. I said, the glass tells me this is fresh. So we're all figuring this shit out together, the three of us. They go inside. I got to watch it. I was on my break. I didn't have to be back in my spot. No one was dying while I was there watching a fucking broken window. Okay, so I'm there. They go inside. They get the woman PBA president, who's the union president. They get a cop. They're coming in. They're running tags, making phone calls. Blah, 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 blah. The permit number belongs to an employee who works in the finance department where my mother used to work. But the car is not his. He comes out. Hi, Dwayne. This ain't my car. Someone must have seen my pass, photocopied it, and put it in. It's a bootleg pass. Okay? So now someone photocopied your pass, put it in. They're parking illegally with a fake city pass, and they get broken into. And it's like a mystery instead of a fucking clue. I mean, we're ready to write a fucking book about it. Okay. The court sergeant came out and saw it. This guy came out. We had a cop from the crime scene unit who was coming into work, coincidentally for an interview with the detectives. He parks next to the victim car. Me and the woman from PDA tell him, look at this car here. I better move my car. There's a space down there. I go to the space over here, across from my car, where it's nice and open. I stand in the space, hold it for him. He comes, pulls his car in. Oh my gosh, okay. Here's protocol. Yes, there are detectives in the building. Yes, there is crime scene in the building. But protocol says a patrolman who is supposed to be roaming around the city has to come in. They have to write it up. Then after they write it up, we call the detective. Then after the detective writes it up, we call the crime scene. Crime scene's got to fingerprint it, photograph it, and possibly tow it, depending on what. We have to get the owner, what's missing from the car. So they got a car en route. The car number is a car that on the first day of school stopped me because there was an escaped mental patient out. And they said, if you see her, call it in and we'll come pick her up. I never saw her. But I'm saying, okay, first day of school, this car stops me for an escaped mental patient. Last day of school, they're coming here to help me because of this break-in. So now, look, but in between, while this is going on, we're all standing around, 3 or 4 of us, waiting for the cops, the patrol car. There's a woman who was there to fight a traffic ticket. While she's fighting a traffic ticket, she has a parking ticket because the civilians have to pay a parking fee, get a temporary ticket printed out for them at the machine, put it in the car. The machine is broken. She walks up to us, yo, this shit, the machine is broken, I got a ticket. Miss, that's not our problem, we're a police department. This is a parking authority's issue. Parking authority runs the lot. They do its asses. You have to go across the land bridge. I'll show you. So I take across the land bridge. Here's City Hall. I said, go across the land bridge. Go across that way. See that door? Go in that door and complain. It's like, but this shit is broken. I said, I know it is. I believe you, but that's not my job. I can't let you go. That's what I do. If the shit hits the fan and the cops are there, my job while I'm on the spot is to direct people away. Like people are like, what's going on here? Police business, move along. Yeah, because they're taking care of the shit, so they make me watch not only the pedestrians crossing the street, but they make me keep people away from their crime scene or their victim. It doesn't happen that often. It's just like once a year they have to arrest somebody while I'm there, or once a year someone wants to go to the hospital. Okay, but that's pretty much my job. I direct the fucking people away from them. Yeah, I know, what a wonderful fucking job. Hey, thank God Caseball wasn't there, because he would have been like, "What, bitch? You got a ticket? Get the fuck out of here!" You know. But so, oh fuck me. So the cop, they're looking at surveillance footage inside. And about an hour after I first discovered the break-in, our cop comes back and says, this car was broken into in the Bronx last night. A, it might not have been reported, but if it was, that's not our jurisdiction. B, we have no place here. This is broken into in the night, last night in the Bronx. This is today in Westchester County, Yonkers. Not our problem. Fuck. And I said, this car was broken into now because no one would drive around with a pound of glass in their back seat. Man, was I a fucking idiot. Here's what happened. The car was broken into in the Bronx the night before. The car ended up belonging to a Xerox repairman who was in the building, and they got a hold of him and he said, yeah, it was broken into last night. So the car belonged to a Xerox repairman. It's broken into last night in the Bronx, for whatever reason. He gets in his car and comes to our headquarters to repair Xerox machines. He parks it in the police lot. No tape over the window, no bag over the window. All I see is a fresh break. And I'm thinking to myself, from a legal standpoint, Alexa, thank you. I'm out of time here. From a legal standpoint, Alexa, stop. From a legal standpoint, there was a false police investigation for an entire hour. From a practical standpoint, you got a pound of glass in the fucking back seat. What if you're driving and you gotta jam the gas real hard, jam the brake real hard for a pedestrian running in front of the street? Or what if you have a fucking car accident and you got all of the glass laying in the fucking back? If this son of a bitch had a car accident, or if he had to stop short for a pedestrian running on the road, all that fucking glass would have hit him in the face. I'm running low on my battery time. Thank you.